It is MLS Week 10. We have 13 games on the card this week with 12 on Saturday and 1 on Sunday night. Now, I've scoured the odds and come up with my 3 best bets for this weekend, so let's jump right into it. Let's start off with Columbus and enter Miami. Miami lost last week in Houston, and the Herons have now lost all 4 games on the road this season. Now, they've only allowed 5 goals in those losses, but they scored exactly 0 themselves, which is the problem. Now, those road losses, the score lines have been 1-0, 2-0, 1-1, and 1-0. Going up against the Crew have yet to lose at home this season, where they're 3-1-0. They've outscored their opponents at home by a scoreline of 13-2. But going back into last season even further, Columbus has made Lower.com Field sort of a fortress as they have no losses in their past 10. They have just 1 loss in 15, and they have just 5 losses in their past 28 home games. Cucho Hernandez is back, and that adds to an offense that is already the second highest scoring offense in the league, and that was without him in the lineup for several weeks. They have him back. They're at home. They're playing a Miami team that's in a bit of a slide, terrible on the road. Let's go for a Columbus Crew win, -150. For our second best bet, let's move into the Toronto and New York game. Toronto had been piling up the draws. They're 1-6-2 on the season, but they got thumped last week 4-2 in Philly. They were actually down 4-0, so those 2 goals really don't count for much. However, those 2 goals do extend a streak that now has seen them score a goal in 7 of 9 games this season. So they've scored 7 of 9. Now, Toronto is also undefeated at home. They're 1-3-0. They've scored in all 4 of those games, and they've scored multiple goals in 3 of those 4. New York won last week, and they're now undefeated in 4 games with just 1 loss in 7. New York City FC has scored in 7 of 9 games, but they've also conceded in 8 of 9 games. If you look at the last 4 meetings between these teams, both teams have scored in all 4, and that's how I see this one ending as well. Let's go both teams to score with Toronto and New York at -134 odds. And for our third best bet, we're going to go to the DC United and Charlotte FC game. DC League home games this season have seen goals coming from both sides in 3 of 4. Those score lines have been a 3-2 win, a 1-1 draw, a 2-1 loss, and a 2-1 loss, and a 2-1 loss. That also means they've conceded in all 4 games at home this season. Overall, they've conceded in 7 of 9 games this season as well. After a 4-1 U.S. Open Cup win in midweek, Charlotte has now scored in 7 straight games across all competitions, but they've allowed a goal in 6 of those 7 and in 9 of 10 2023 matches. Now, the only time they didn't allow a goal was last week against Columbus. However, Columbus sort of did score a goal at the very end of the game, but it was called off questionably by VAR. So Charlotte's almost conceded a goal in every game this season. If you look at the XGA stats, both have struggled, with DC ranking 13th and Charlotte 14th in the East. Now, Charlotte has 4 players this season that have all scored multiple goals, while DC's Christian Benteke has been very impactful up top, scoring 4 of his own. With both teams capable of scoring and neither playing very much defense, I can see both teams scoring again here. Let's go -134 for both teams to score in DC and Charlotte. Now, those are my 3 best bets this week in MLS. Let me know what yours are in the comments, and good luck, everybody, this week with your MLS bets.